In a world yearning for compassion and leadership, one man emerged from the bustling streets of Buenos Aires to the grand halls of the Vatican to redefine what it means to lead. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, known to the world as Pope Francis, shattered centuries of tradition by embodying humility, inclusivity, and faith. From a simple boyhood in Argentina to his role as the shepherd of over 1 billion Catholics, this is not just the story of a pope, it is the story of a man who dared to change the course of history. Welcome to the life of Pope Francis, Shepherd of the World. Jorge Mario Bergoglio was born on December 17, 1936, in the bustling Flores neighborhood of Buenos Aires, Argentina. His family, Italian immigrants seeking a better life, lived modestly. Jorge's father, Mario, worked as a railway accountant, while his mother, Regina, cared for the family. The eldest of 5 children, Jorge quickly became known for his intelligence, curiosity, and compassion. Even as a child, Jorge was different. His grandmother Rosa, a deeply devout woman, was a spiritual anchor in his life. Her prayers and stories of the saints inspired a young Jorge to dream of a life devoted to service. Yet, he was also an ordinary boy, playing soccer in the streets and delighting in the lively community of Flores. At the age of 12, Jorge faced a life-threatening illness, severe pneumonia that resulted in the removal of part of his lung. It was a test of resilience that would shape his outlook on life, teaching him early that suffering could be a source of strength. By his teenage years, Jorge had a clear path set before him. He pursued technical school, earning a diploma in chemistry, and seemed destined for a career in science. But at 17, his life changed forever. One morning, Jorge planned to attend a school picnic but felt an inexplicable urge to stop by San Jose de Flores, his parish church. There, he encountered a priest and experienced a moment of profound grace during confession. This pivotal experience planted the seeds of his vocation. In 1958, Jorge joined the Jesuits, an order known for its intellectual rigor and commitment to social justice. Jesuit life was not easy. Jorge dedicated himself to prayer, study, and manual labor, embracing the challenges with humility and determination. His journey took him across continents. In Spain, he deepened his theological training, and in Argentina, he worked tirelessly in education and outreach. His peers described him as deeply intelligent and unwaveringly kind, a man destined for greatness within the church. In 1973, at the young age of 36, Jorge was appointed provincial superior of the Jesuits in Argentina. His leadership coincided with one of the darkest chapters in the nation's history, the Dirty War. The military dictatorship of the 1970s brought violence, fear, and the disappearance of thousands of Argentinians. For many, the church became both a sanctuary and a battleground. Jorge walked a delicate line. While some accused him of remaining silent, declassified documents later revealed his quiet heroism. He used his position to negotiate the release of kidnapped priests, sheltered political dissidents, and helped many flee the country. These acts, performed in secrecy, earned him the respect of some and the criticism of others. This tumultuous period shaped Jorge profoundly, teaching him the importance of resilience and discretion in the face of danger. It was a crucible that prepared him for the responsibilities he would later carry as Pope. In March 2013, after the unexpected resignation of Pope Benedict XVI, the College of Cardinals gathered in Rome for a historic conclave. The election of Jorge Mario Bergoglio was a surprise to many. As the white smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel, signaling the election of a new pope, the world waited in anticipation. When Jorge appeared on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, he broke centuries of tradition. He introduced himself not with grandeur, but with a simple greeting, Buenos Aires, good evening. Taking the name Francis, after Saint Francis of Assisi, he signaled a papacy dedicated to humility, poverty, and care for creation. Pope Francis's first acts were revolutionary. He rejected the opulent papal apartments, choosing instead to live in the modest Casa Santa Marta. He declined a limousine in favor of a simple Ford Focus. These gestures resonated worldwide, painting a picture of a leader who truly lived his message. Pope Francis's papacy was defined by bold reforms and compassionate outreach. He tackled issues long considered taboo within the Church. In 2015, his encyclical Laudato Si called for urgent action against climate change, framing environmental stewardship as a moral imperative. He also prioritized transparency within the Vatican, addressing financial corruption and clerical abuse. Francis's commitment to inclusivity was unwavering. He advocated for the poor, embraced refugees, and famously said, "Who am I to judge?" in response to questions about LGBTQ+ individuals. His visits to prisons, hospitals, and disaster zones demonstrated a pastoral care deeply rooted in Christ's teachings. In early 2025, Pope Francis's health began to decline. His years of service, combined with the challenges of advancing age, took their toll. Despite his frailty, he continued to deliver messages of hope, love, and peace. In his final public blessing, he encouraged Catholics to be bridges of kindness and mercy. On 21st of April, 2025, surrounded by close aides and fellow clergy at Casa Santa Marta, Pope Francis passed away peacefully. The Vatican announced his death to a grieving world, and tributes poured in from every corner of the globe. Leaders, religious figures, and ordinary people alike honored his life and legacy. Pope Francis was more than a pope, he was a global moral leader who transcended boundaries of faith, politics, and culture. His life reminds us that humility, compassion, and courage have the power to change the world. Though his earthly journey has ended, his teachings and example will inspire countless generations to come.